Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Christina and I am a homeschooling mom to 5 kids ages 3, 4, 8, 12, and 15. I am so excited about today's video, you guys, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I hit 10K here on YouTube, and it's really funny because when I started this YouTube channel, I never imagined I would even hit 1,000 subscribers, let alone 10,000 of you deciding to subscribe to this channel and be a part of this community. And so I am so excited, not just because it gets a number, but it encourages me that there are other moms out there that we've connected, living near and far, and maybe don't agree on everything, but have found connection here in this unlikely place. So thank you so much for being here. I just can't say that enough. I value each and every one of you, every view, every like, every comment, every conversation. Those of you that follow me here and on Instagram, and maybe you've even joined me to homeschool to connect over there. Thank you. And if you're new, welcome. So I want to just say thank you. I want to announce my biggest giveaway that I've ever done, either here or over on Instagram. So stay tuned because I'm going to be announcing my 10K giveaway, which is going to be $1,000 value. By far the biggest giveaway I've ever been a part of, even doing giveaways with other moms on YouTube and Instagram. So I'm so excited for whoever wins that. Before we jump into it, another reason I'm excited is because I've taken a little bit of a kind of break from YouTube over the summer. I have had videos going up, and then I had a couple weeks that I didn't, which I knew would either be a period of time where there was nothing, or it would be a little bit all over the place. And that's kind of what has happened. I've had a couple weeks where I did not have a video at all. Usually my standard is 1 video a week, and then maybe there'll be a bonus video. But there's been a couple weeks there's been nothing, and then a couple weeks there's been 2 or 3. And so I tried to prepare you guys for that YouTube was kind of coming down a little bit on the priority list. And it's funny how I just feel like it's a wink from God. Just another one of those things of I decided to move it down on the priority list in order to prioritize my family, my husband, time with him when he's off from work. Because oftentimes I would be filming on one of his days off because he is so kind to take the kids out so I can get things done around the house and for YouTube and Instagram and all of those things. And so prioritizing him and time together as a family and my kids and all of those things, I just feel isn't it just God that I would hit a milestone after making that decision, not to lay it down, but to sort of move it down on the priority list while I made sure that other things that should be more important all the time are being prioritized even more in this season of life. And so hopefully that encourages one of you, and I'm really excited about all of it. But it does feel like I haven't sat down to catch up with you guys. I feel like we have a lot of catching up to do. It's been almost a year. I thought it would have been cool to get to a year of doing these monthly recap and goals videos that I started, I think last August or September, where I recap the previous month and let you know what we had planned or what I have planned for the upcoming month. But I knew I wouldn't really be able to keep up with that in the summer, and I really only missed June because this is going to count, it's the middle of July. So yeah, we'll call this a midsummer update. So I will be recapping our summer so far as homeschooling and life, which I've said a million times before, there really is no completely separating them, at least not for us. I don't know if for anyone, but I want to share with you what we've been doing this summer, adventures we've gone on, curriculum that we have used, and things like that, and what we've been doing. So usually what I do in these update videos is I look back at the plans that I had at the beginning of the month, and I actually did that. Sometimes I don't even look at it until I start filming the video, but I actually did it ahead of this video because I'm I don't even remember what I said I was gonna do in May when I was making goals for June and the whole summer. But it was a short list, and I'm kind of proud of myself because usually it's a super long list, and I was you know what? I'm not going to put a ton of expectations on myself for the summer. I'm going to do a handful of things and do them well. or not do them well, but at least not have like this huge list hanging over my head. So I wrote down the Brighter Day Press Summer Guide, which we have been using, but much like I thought, we're not using it every day, and we're not using it as it is laid out to do. So for example, today, this very day, it was thunderstorming and it's been lots of rain. Is it really rainy where you guys are? Because there's been a ton of rain this summer. Even when we were in Acadia, I'll talk about that in a minute. We've been getting a ton of rain. And so today what I did is I've been kind of using the summer guide from Brighter Day Press and my slow down guide that I created to go along with the book, Slow Down, 50 Mindful Moments in Nature. And I haven't been going in order. I've been picking and choosing the things that like make sense for either what we have coming up or something we've just recently done or seen. And in this case, I did the summer thunderstorm page from Slow Down. And what's cool is that there is a sky week in the summer guide from Brighter Day Press, and she aligns, she uses this book as the devotion that she pulls from for each day of the guide. It's an 8-week guide. And like I said, we've been jumping in and out, going all over the place with it, and it's actually been working really well for us that way. There are recipes and crafts and devotions and picture book lists and all of these things, and we've just been using it. There are fables in there and poems, and so we've been doing the poems and the fables and some of the picture books. Really haven't touched on any of the recipes or crafts as of yet, but there's a week in there, a sky week, and the devotion for it was thunderstorms, and then the reading from the Slow Down guide was the thunderstorms page, so it worked out perfect. So today we did that devotion, and then we read from the Slow Down guide, or from the Slow Down book, and then I pulled the pages from my guide and we did some notebooking with that, and then I pulled in a book that I use for weather. I'll put it right here, for my older kids, so kind of like an extension for my 12 and my 15-year-old and myself, because there's like, I don't know most of what's in that weather book, but it's really interesting, and the author's writing style is like really engaging, so it's pretty cool to kind of like, we used it a while back, we were reading from it. We kind of put it down because we stopped learning about weather, like we were doing a little bit of weather learning, and so it was cool to pick that back up and get re-excited about learning about some of these things about weather. So anyway, we've been doing stuff like that, and my Slow Down guide is available in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below, and the summer guide from Brighter Day Press is linked down below as well. I'm sure we'll use both in future summers, so like I could see myself going back through that summer guide next year or the year after, and I know I'll be using my Slow Down guide quite a bit. So that's just an example of something we've been doing that's just like slow, gentle learning. If there was no rain, we'd probably be doing even less. But other things that we've been doing when we've been stuck inside, I mean torrential downpour. Like my kids go out and play in the rain, but it has been like torrential downpour, thunder and lightning. And so we've been doing lots of activities from our knowledge crates, which I shared about recently in a recent video. I guess it's a few weeks ago now. And we've been doing a lot of just play from the things in our Love Every kits. They just really enjoy that stuff. We've been doing lots of painting, poetry, paint and sip is kind of like what we do with Nature Study Club once a month. We kind of combine the poetry tea time and the watercolor art tutorial and do like a poetry paint and sip at the table. So we've been doing that. And just lots of that kind of stuff, reading books together. We're reading, another thing on my list was read alouds, and I only have Mary Slessor from the Christian Heroes Then and Now. We've been reading that, not a ton, but we have been. And then also I have them in like a picture book format for my 8-year-old. And so she's really excited because she doesn't really read the older ones with us because they can have some content that's a bit too intense for her age, but important for my boys to hear, I think. And I still do have these available in a curated bundle that gets you them for a much greater discount than you would if you bought them separately. So I will link that down below as well because that's still available if you're interested, before I forget. And that's it. So I can check off everything on my list. And my goal was lots of connection, lots of adventure, getting out in nature. And so I want to share with you a little bit about our adventures before I tell you all about the giveaway. So if you are not already following me over on Instagram, you can follow me there at rooted_home_life. I shared a lot about our trip to Acadia. It was amazing. I was actually kind of worried leading up to it, which sounds silly, that it wasn't going to be as epic as I had built up in my mind for it to be. Because I'm like, it's not Yellowstone and it's not Yosemite and it's not Zion National Park or Joshua Tree. It's just Acadia. Maybe it's it's just Maine, whatever. It was absolutely majestic. It was breathtaking and beautiful. And I highly recommend, if you can get to Acadia, to go, even in the rain. It downpoured. Oh my gosh. So we were only there for a few days. The first full day, and we got there at night, slept over. That night was fine, but the first full day and then that night were so rainy and windy. It was crazy. We hiked from Sand Beach to Thunder Hole, which was incredible. We had read about those things leading up to going. That's another thing that we did. Actually, I should share that, is just getting tons of library books about national parks, about Acadia, about Maine, about New Hampshire, because it's another place that we went. And I would just put them on the table and we would just spend time reading through them, sharing things about them, doing a little bit of just light notebooking about them. So we were doing a lot of learning so far the first half of the summer, but not a ton of curriculum. My kids are still doing a little bit of independent work here and there, some math and some language arts, and then little bits of notebooking and things like that. So nothing super intense. We tend to lean more in that direction anyway, but we've been even more free about it and unschooly in the summer. My kids have been doing lots of projects out in the backyard, building things with my husband. They helped put on a new roof, and just all of that kind of real life skills, learning how to do home repairs and lots of just really good stuff. It's been a really good summer despite the rain and the wildfire smoke, which is a whole nother thing. Let me know in the comments if you were affected with really bad air quality from the Canadian wildfires, because it was really bad here in a couple different times. And I was so thankful that we had the air doctor. I don't know if I've shared about air doctor on YouTube. I know I've shared about it a little bit on Instagram, but I was a little wary. I don't know why, but I was like, is it really necessary, an air purifier? Is it really necessary to have a HVAC system, and it sort of cycles the air and filters it? There's a filter in my furnace, right? The air doctor has been such an incredible thing to have in the home. I do have an affiliate link for them with 15% off that I will link down in the description box. I'm actually getting a second one because I want one for my upstairs. It's crazy how much stuff it filters out. And if you set it to auto, I know I'm going on a lot of rabbit trails. This is how I typically roll, but if you're new here. But if you set it to auto, it will turn off when it's not needed, if the air is at a good place, and then it'll kick on and be on orangish yellow sometimes if it's oh, there's a little bit of stuff to filter out of the air. And then hardly ever will it turn red, and then it kicks on high. And it had done that maybe once or twice or three times over the almost 6 months that we've had it, but for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and then it would shut off. During that wildfire stuff, it would be that for hours, or it would stop, and then if somebody just opened the door to come in or out, it would kick on and be that for 30 minutes. It was crazy. So it was what great timing that I had this. So highly recommend air doctors, or a comparable good air purifier for your home if you don't have one. So there's that. Where was I going? Oh, I was talking about Acadia in the rain. Oh my goodness. I feel it was more beautiful, some of it in the rain, the way the rain brings out the depth of color. There's all this pink granite cliffs and just rock everywhere in Acadia. It's one of the things that it's known for. And so when it's wet, it's just brighter and richer. I don't know. It just looked cinematic to me being there. It was incredible. But that second night, that was torrential downpour, I didn't know if our tent was gonna make it. I was like, we're gonna end up getting drenched in this tent and we still have some time here. Like, what are we gonna do? This is absolutely crazy. Like, this rain fly is going to fly off our tent, literally. Like, I was up in the middle of the night hearing, because we stayed at an oceanfront campground, and like our original site, I shared this on Instagram, our original site was like legitimately oceanfront, like you can throw a stone into the ocean. But when we arrived on that Friday night, it was so small. It was beautiful. It was like on the side of like a carved out granite rock on the side of a cliff. But our tent, it was like tiny. Our tent was like too big to even fit there. So we were like, what are we gonna do? Like, the camp office is completely closed. There's no way for us to be like, hey, can we get a different site? So we ended up picking one that wasn't occupied and staying there. And then it was occupied for the next night. The campground was like super sweet. It was HTR Acadia if you're looking for somewhere to camp, if you go to Acadia. But they let us pick any other site that was free, and we picked site number 10. So truly, if you ever go there, site number 10, you can still see the ocean. So it's an ocean view, but it's like up a level, if that makes sense. So like, all I could think while we were in the tent, because I was so disappointed we couldn't be oceanfront, because that's what I was so excited about. But like, as we were in the tent, I was thinking, I could not imagine what this wind and rain would have been like, being like 12 feet from the start of the water. Like, we probably would have had to leave. I don't even know. But anyways, our tent stayed dry. So I will link our tent if you're looking for a good tent. It's a 12-person tent. So we had plenty of room. And I highly recommend a big tent if there's any chance of rain. Because what are you going to do if it's torrential downpour and you're camping? Like, so did you hear it? That was the air doctor turning on. So, and then it just quieted down. So it'll kick on. Anyways, stay focused. Acadia, big tent, go for it. The other thing is, after our first night, our air mattress, like, so by the morning, like, I remember waking up in the night and be like, why am I on the ground? Like, why is my hip on the ground? This is so uncomfortable. By the time we woke up in the morning, our air mattress was completely flat, like completely deflated. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this can't be happening. So I had just one big air mattress for like myself, my husband, and my littles, because I knew that they would be like climbing on top of us in the middle of the night. And then we had gotten a couple of like camping mats, like they're inflatable camping mats, but they're smaller and more compact, and they have like a ripple. I was like, I don't feel like that's going to be as comfortable for adults, like that are heavier. So I got those for the kids. Those things were incredible. I want 7 of them. And what's really cool about them too is they're individual, like the size of like under a sleeping bag, but you can snap them together as many as you want. So I'm like, my husband and I, after the second night, because it's kind of funny. So my son found the hole in our air mattress and patched it. He was so kind and so like proud of himself. He's like, I found the hole. I fixed it for you guys. You guys are going to be good tonight. No, it was completely flat. Oh my God. The next morning as well. And it was like the night of the torrential downpour. So it was like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, I wish there was cameras set up to show how ridiculous. Like, I fell with jewels in my hands, and like, I'm only laughing because she didn't get hurt, but I was so afraid she was going to get hurt. It was just dramatic and ridiculous. The rain was like coming in sideways, the rain and wind, under the gazebo that my husband had put over the fire so that we could cook our chili over the fire. It was just ridiculous. But I can't recommend these camping mats enough because they're like this big, rolled up in their own little bag. They're tiny, and you don't need a pump. So you need 0 pump. There's like this little pump that's in there. I don't even know what it is because you can't see it, but you step on it. It's like a little pillow that you step on, and the thing inflates in like 2 minutes, and it deflates in less time and just rolls up. It's the easiest thing I've ever seen. It is way more comfortable than the stupid air mattress because the last night I slept on one of them. So anyway, and Jackson, my poor 12-year-old, was like trying to help with the fire, and like even the chairs that were like pushed as close to the fire as they possibly could go were getting wet. And then Jackson was trying to help with the fire. He went to sit down in the chair that he had behind him, but my 3-year-old had moved it and he didn't know. So he just like fell like in the rain and the mud, and there was a small rock there. It was just like, this is ridiculous, to the point that I was like saying to my husband, do we need to just get a hotel? Like, are we like, what are we gonna do here? So anyways, it was fine. We got through it, and then we were like, if we could do this, like we can totally camp. So we're gonna try to camp some more. We're not experienced campers, but like wanted adventure. So we went for it, and it was certainly an adventure. The cool thing, which I highly recommend doing, is before we had planned Acadia, we had planned our yearly trip to Hampton Beach in New Hampshire. I was like, if you just keep going up the coast, we could get to Acadia, and we're already like partially there. Do you know what I mean? So I talked my husband into going to Acadia first and then working our way back down the coast and going to Hampton Beach. And we were trying to decide, like, do we do it before or after? And I am so glad we did it before, because it was amazing. But after camping in the rain in Acadia, staying at the hotel that we always stay at felt like absolute luxury and like relaxing. It's just like an easy breezy beach vacation at the hotel we've been staying at for like 10 years. And so highly recommend, like, if you're gonna try to adventure, if you're like want to dip your toes in, see if you can do something like that, where like you do it, you adventure together, and then you don't go right home. Because my other thing my husband said, I feel like if we would have went right home, we would have been like, oh. But to be able to then go to this like familiar place that everyone in the family loves and just relax for like almost a whole week and then go home, it just really felt like a really long, in a good way, trip where we like did so much, but also relaxed, if that makes sense. So highly recommend. We are getting ready to go to the Adirondacks and stay up there for a week, and it's just going to be a really great second half of the summer. So I'm really excited about that too. So I'm trying to look at my list, because I did try to make some notes so that I didn't forget things, because there were so many things I wanted to share with you guys. I found a reading curriculum for my littles that I am super excited about. I shared recently in my pre-K and kindergarten like curriculum and homeschool plans video, and I used curriculum really loosely because I did not share a ton of curriculum, but more like resources and my plans for how I plan to teach them. And I had in mind the way that I wanted to teach them how to read, but like, and I'm sure I would have been fine just doing that, but I really didn't want to like get nervous and then feel like I needed to buy a reading curriculum. Not that there's anything wrong with using a reading curriculum, but I just really didn't want to start using a lot of formal curriculum with them super young. I just didn't. You can go back and watch some of my other videos where I share my reasoning behind that and all of that, but I really wanted them to learn through play. And so I recently found a resource that is all about learning to read through play. And so my very next video, I will be sharing all about it with you guys. I am so excited to share it. So stay tuned for that. The last thing I will share that we've been using quite a bit are resources from For the Love of Homeschooling. So if you've been following, you know that we love nature study clubs. So we did some learning about oceans and sharks and things like that from the July Nature Study Club, which was Oceans and Shark Week. And we've been doing just some printables, like my upcoming 3rd grader wants to learn multiplication. So instead of using curriculum for that, we've just been doing some of the fun games and activities from For the Love of Homeschooling for that. Well, that brings me to what my giveaway is. If you don't follow For the Love of Homeschooling, they just launched For the Love of Homeschooling Schoolhouse, which is a membership to their site, which houses all of their printable resources. And there are over, I think, 300 on there at this point, and they are adding to it continuously. Like resources all the way from like your youngest learners all the way up through teen. I use them from my 3-year-old to my 15-year-old. They have all of the subscription memberships like Nature Study Club, and they just launched a World Explorers Club, which is a really fun geography subscription where they cover like a different country a month. They have Bird of the Month Club and all of those things. The Schoolhouse membership gives you unlimited access to download any and everything from the site. Like literally you can download everything from the site. And once you download it, it's a digital file, so you have it for life. So they have the yearly subscription, which is $499.99, which is well worth it. Like you could literally download everything that they have, and then you might not even need it the following year unless you want the new stuff that they come out with. Or maybe you decide I'm gonna get everything that they have for this first year, and then if they have things that I want the following year, I'll just grab those few things. But they also have a lifetime subscription for $999.99, where you have a lifetime subscription to For the Love of Homeschooling to download literally everything that they have and everything that they come out with. So all of the Nature Study Club units, all of the previous ones, if you haven't already done Nature Study Club, you have access to all of the previous ones, all of the subscription memberships, all of the printable packs, the early learning packs, there are book guides in there, just ridiculous amounts of resources, and they have that lifetime membership. So I'm going to link it down below if you want to check it out. But my giveaway is a lifetime membership to For the Love of Homeschooling. I am so excited for one of you to win this because I feel like it could be a game changer for someone. And so I'm so excited to share that with you. I just feel like it's perfect, like a lifetime membership for me reaching 10K. I was like praying about what do I give? I want to give back to this community. And so that is what I landed on. When I saw Sam from For the Love of Homeschooling launch that, I was like, that's the thing. And so I know this is a YouTube celebration, but I am going to be hosting the official giveaway over on my Instagram page. So while you're watching this video, the giveaway will have already gone up over on Instagram. It is just easier to run giveaways on Instagram. It's like easier to track them and all of those things and choose a winner and contact the winner and things like that, because there are DMs and tagging people and all of that, which doesn't work the same way here on YouTube. However, I don't want to leave out the handful of you that I know don't have an Instagram, and I don't want to push you to get an Instagram just to win that giveaway. So please, 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 if you have an Instagram, go enter over on Instagram. If you do not have an Instagram, please let me know down in the comments, like, this is my official entry. I don't have an Instagram, but I am subscribed to you here and I want a chance to win. I will include you guys and I will find a workaround. Like I can get an email from you if you win. Just pay attention to, like, if I comment on your comment asking for an email, because I did that before in the past with a giveaway, like say, hey, you're the winner. Can you email me at this email, giving my email so that I can send you, what you won, and then never heard from them. I want to make sure the winner gets their thing that they won. So definitely, as soon as you are done watching this video, head to my Instagram page, which is linked down below. It is rooted_homelife, and you will see the post to enter the giveaway. I think that's everything I wanted to share for today. I feel like there were a lot of things and I talked a lot, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you did like this video, please give it a like. Comment down below introducing yourself if you're new, or if you don't have an Instagram and you want to enter that giveaway, or anything else that you want to say. Let me know if you have visited Acadia. If you have any camping tips for me, check out those camping mats down below that I shared with you. All the things that I mentioned, if I can remember and get a link for them, they're linked in the description box below. I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos, and until next time, stay rooted.